G'day, Mark from DIY Bytes. I want to build a basic frequency generator. I've never done one before, so I thought maybe the best way to start would be to build a basic 555 timing circuit. I went to the websites and I found this circuit here. This is from a site called electronicsclub.info, 555 timer. And on the site they have a very basic circuit diagram. We have the positive rail, the ground rail, the 555 itself, two resistors, a capacitor, another one here but optional, so we're going to leave this one out. Shows all our pinouts and also has a description of what values to set a capacitor and R1 and R2 resistors. This is the layout of the chip. The top of the chip's here. The dot for pin 1. Pin 1 being ground and power on pin 8 between 4.5 and 15 volts. And this is my breadboard. Bought that the other day off eBay for $3.50. Bargain. And we need the chip. We'll place him in the middle. The 555 timer chip. So what I'm going to do is place my ground into pin 1 with the black, and then power is on pin 8 with the red. So when we look at the diagram, we see the ground on pin 1 and the power up here on pin 8, but also here on pin 4. So pin 4 let's put them here. Again, at the diagram we have the two resistors. So the first resistor R1 is between pin 7 and pin 8. When we go to the site electronicsclub.info 555 timer, down the page a bit it has a bit of a diagram showing us a few possible values we could use. Shows us that if we use a particular capacitor and a particular resistor set, what frequency we'll get. Now when we look at, say, this one here, what I'm going for, so when we look at 0.68 Hertz, that's 41 pulses per minute, I need a resistor R1 of 10k and R2 of 100k. R1 going between pins 7 and 8, and R2 between 2 and 7. So R1 between 7 and 8. And R2 I said between 2 and 7. And it goes 7. Back to the description, we see the capacitor I need is going to be the 10 microfarad. 10 microfarad is going in between pins 2 and 1. So 1 will be the ground of the capacitor, and pin 2 will be the positive of the capacitor. So the black stripe is going to pin 1 and the other goes to pin 2. In he goes. Back to the diagram, we also see we need a link between 2 and 6. Pin 2, just enough space for me, and pin 6, 5, 6. Back to the diagram, we see that pin 3 is our output. So I'll grab that. I choose blue. Pin 3 is our output, and I'm going to run a cable here to grab a ground and another one here to grab the power. So I'm using a standard 9-volt battery. I have some alligator clips here and I'm connecting the negative up to my black ground here, and the positive up to the positive of the battery. Next is for the probe. I've just moved the camera a little and I've got the oscilloscope here. I'm placing the probe on the pin 3, the blue pin, and earthing the probe. There you go. There's the pulse, just a little longer than 1 second. 41 pulses per minute. My first 555 timer circuit. If you don't have a oscilloscope, just take your output, use a diode, 470 ohm resistor, into the neutral, and there we go.